Hi, my name is Gideon Levy, and I am a high school English teacher. I'm in my third year of teaching right now. And I first met Bari in our mutual first year as high school teachers at New Vision's Advanced Math and Science in the Bronx. And to say that Rosh is the hardest working educator I know is an understatement. He's probably the hardest working person I ever met. He is a bit of a pain because he makes the rest of us look lazy, even when we think we are working as hard as 3 people combined, because he works as hard as 30 people combined. I might have come to work one day all feeling like a martyr because I had only gotten 5 hours of sleep the night before, but was still in there ready to grade a bunch of papers, and he would be sitting in his office saying, "Oh yeah, sleep, I remember sleep. I think I got some sleep this past weekend." And that would be said on a Thursday. He would regularly go without sleeping, without eating, to make sure that he was doing the most that he could for his students. This is a man who is so deeply committed to education that he would work 2 teaching jobs and be taking classes of his own, all simultaneously, to be the best both student and teacher that he can be. He would be posting on social media at 3 in the morning, still grading papers, still finishing up his planning. And his posts would be inspired. They wouldn't be groaning or complaining. They would be excited. And I'm saying to myself, where is this excitement coming from? Where is this energy coming from? He told me he hadn't eaten in a day. It was almost like he was nourishing himself on the love of learning. Now keep in mind, this is a guy who got his GED in the year 2004, and now he's going for his doctorate. This is a guy that worked as a security guard for 14 years, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 2000 to 2014. And now he's a physics professor. This is a man who seems like he's almost nourished on his love for education, so he doesn't need sleep. He doesn't need to eat. I remember there was one day I was so concerned for him that I went out and bought him an apple and a muffin from the corner store just to make sure he had something to eat. And of course, he posted it on Facebook speaking about me being the kindest, most wonderful coworker he could possibly ask for. And I'm all like, I just didn't want to see you drop dead in the middle of class. His kindness is overwhelming at times. He would express to me how grateful it was to have a friend like me. And in a workplace, you rarely hear that sort of thing. People are too focused on workplace politics or the job. They don't want to put themselves out there and be vulnerable by saying, "You are such a good friend to me." But Rashidul did that for me. My first year at a job where it was scary and it was frightening to be in this job, in this position. And he made me feel appreciated. He would often ask me how my wife is doing, congratulating me on her promotion, telling her to say hello, and he'd never met her. These are all things he just gleaned off of social media. But he cared about me, so he cared about my people. And it made me feel appreciated. And I can just imagine the students in his classroom who might feel like people don't care about them. But then this guy comes in who hadn't slept in a day, who hadn't eaten in a day, but he's still glowing with excitement and enthusiasm for the lesson he's about to teach them. I remember one staff meeting where he was talking about teaching them the nature of a pendulum, and he said, "Wait one moment," and he ran out of the room and came back in with this must have been like 30-pound steel ball that he actually used in the classroom to teach, I don't even know what the lesson is, I'm an English teacher, teach some sort of lesson about a pendulum. And I just sat there in awe, saying to myself, did he carry that on the subway? Up and down the stairs into the school building? And then I thought to myself, wait a second, he's probably just coming from his other job. Was he carrying it from job to job just so he could teach this one set of high school students this lesson about pendulum? And then I thought, my God, what about the kids who were sitting there bored and didn't realize all of the things that Rashidul put into teaching them this lesson? The only thing I can hope is that whatever students he is teaching, or whatever teachers are fortunate enough to have him in their classroom, they realize that he puts it all into that lesson. He puts it all into that experience of learning or helping other people learn.
Gideon was my best friend at New Vision Charter High School for Advanced Math and Science, where I used to work as a physics teacher, and he used to work as an English teacher. Um, he was so close to me that it was very difficult for me to inform him that I was leaving AMS because I got an offer from Brooklyn Tech. It was I let me think. It was probably August 25. That day I had to tell Gideon that, look, I'm not coming back to AMS. I I remember I started crying.
And I just feel honored to have him as a friend.